Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles. Where are you going? Oh, there you are. And today what we wanted to talk to you about is if you're going to breed snakes, why it's a good idea to have more than just ball pythons. Um, I know, we're talking about you today. Yeah, well, not just you. So first of all, before we get into this, make sure and go like, subscribe, check on the Patreon. You can see lots of cool stuff on there, plus talk to other like-minded individuals. You can even buy and sell snakes on there to other people who you talk to on a daily basis through our Discord. So first of all, when I say why you should have other species other than ball pythons, it's not because the ball python market is dead or terrible or anything like that. It's just I think it's always best to have some variety. We've talked about that in our genetics and in our pricing. I think it's also good to have a variety of species. One, it's fun. You're going to continue to learn and learn more. Keeping another species and learning things about it will also help you with your ball pythons. And it adds a little eye candy to your table. This here is a Bredli carpet. We are raising her up for breed purposes. You can see she's doing really good. She is now of size where we can actually move her to a nice display cage. We just got to get one set up and picked and get her in there, rocking and rolling. You are great, girlfriend. I like you. These are great snakes for handling. I personally love the carpet pythons. Of all the species we've done that aren't a ball python, that won't kill somebody, these are my favorite we've bred as carpet pythons. Not Bredlis. We've done a bunch of jungles and some jungle jags and things. I just think they're just great. You know, now if I were to ask Caleb and I were to ask Kurt what their favorite other species is, they're probably not going to say carpet. But carpet python was just going to fall off. Was really one of my first loves. When I got back into snakes, it was not a ball python, it was a carpet python. And man, I just love them, guys. I think the colors are beautiful. I love how diamond shaped the heads are. I love everything about this. And when you get that guy who goes to your show, goes to your table, and he's like, oh, there's too many ball pythons, there's this or that, or I just want something different, and you can put something different out there, you're miles ahead. Or you get that guy who maybe doesn't mind buying a ball python, but he's kind of walked through the show, or she, quickly just kind of glancing, and they see something different like a carpet python or a diamond python or whatever, they're going to stop at your table. So again, I think this is something that if you're not doing, you should be doing. Now, does it have to be a carpet python? No, it doesn't. We've done a lot of different species in the past. We've done these several years. We've done boas now. We've done most recently short tails or bloods, whatever you want to call them. You know, we've done all of those things. We've also done Western Diamondbacks, although those aren't going to be at most show tables. That's why we're really not talking about them too much today, but it is something that we've done. So like, we've done a multitude of different species. We've never gotten into corns or garters or anything like that, but there's a ton of options out there. You know, there's 100 different snakes. You know, I got one buddy who likes to breed bull snakes, for crying out loud. Not something that tickles my fancy, but it does some other people's. So having that other species is good. Now, there's a couple caveats to it. If you're going to have that other species on your table, you need to know about it, right? You need to be able to talk about its size, its care, what it's going to need. Don't have somebody who's looking at a ball python turn around and sell them a reticulated python and not truly explain to them the size of the damn animal. Don't be that guy that's bad for the hobby. Okay, if you want to have retics and berms, man, by all means, do it. But just when you're selling them, make sure that person knows what they're getting. Same here. You know, make sure they know that these are, you know, like there's some gentle things on these, like this tail here. This is a prehensile tail, right? You can't, it's just going to be used, it's going to wrap. They'll put this in your belt loops. I had to take my watch off earlier because it wrapped it around my watch. I didn't want it to get pinched in the watch links. There's just little things like that on these species that are different that you got to know about for the care of them to not injure them because there is spine in there. Yes, and you do use that. So it's just little things like that. You got to know how much more active this is going to be. It's not going to set like most ball pythons. It wants to climb like a tree, like on me. So you're going to have to give it that. It's not hard. It's not hard to learn or keep, but it definitely is something that I think you should do. Kurt, what has been your favorite side species for us that we've done?
Probably just because of I mostly took care of them is the boas.
Yeah, the boas have sold really well too. We've had a great time selling boas. I'd say we moved 2 to 3 boas a show we've gone to where we've taken boas. We have talked ourselves out of a few boa sales just because we were heavy on the females. We have to explain to people, hey, this is going to get about this big around. You need to make sure you're capable of that. And some people have been like, never mind, which is fine. I'd rather have that than them be ill prepared for what they're getting. But they've sold really well. They've been really cool to see. We had several different morphs of them to include moon glow, I think. Didn't we have a sun glow too? Some straight albino, some anery. We had some, hypo. What else am I missing? Or is that it? Jungle. We had some jungle. Yeah, so we had quite a few different morphs of that. And that was a lot of fun because those boas had so many babies. You don't need to do a whole bunch of pairings to have a lot. I think we had 20 some in one shot. So that was pretty good. Caleb, what about you? What is your favorite side species we've bred?
The Bloods.
Okay, Caleb says the Bloods. The Bloods have been pretty neat because it's new. I think that's part of it.
Can you show one?
Yeah, maybe. Let me put this one back. You're going to get out of this tub here soon, little one. I like to start these carpets in tubs just because it's a nice, quiet environment, but we don't want to keep them in tubs full time. Let me pick up one of these. There we go. We'll bring you the whole tub over. So this is a matrix. Actually, you know what? Let's show you the cool one. That'd be the best one probably, right? Where is that ivory at? Matrix. Over?
Just the whole back.
Oh, well, we'll just use this matrix. I lied then. We'll use this matrix. This one's having itself a soak right now. So this is a young blood python. Haha. Don't you do it. Kurt thought I was going to get tagged. So you can see they're growing really well. They're chunky little monkeys. So you can see it out and about doing its thing. So these things have been really awesome to work with. They're going to get a little bit larger, not so much in the length, but they're going to be a heavy-bodied snake. So you got to kind of let people know that. We haven't moved any of these or taken any to a show yet. They're just not what we consider ready. If you were to put this on a scale, it's going to weigh over the 80-gram mark, but the truth is they're still pretty young. So we'll probably hold them for just a little bit just to make sure we know that they're really good, really healthy before we start taking and trying to sell them. But they will be available pretty soon. Again, I really enjoyed this. This is kind of cool to get to see. We hit a lot of matrices, some normals, and we hit one ivory. Now, that being said, is this my favorite one? No, my favorite's been the carpets. All of those species, by the way, we tend to have a lot of babies. We didn't have, the boas had the most, I think, followed by the carpets, and then next would have been the bloods. I think our biggest carpet clutch was like 16 one time or something like that. Or
Did you have 14 rattlesnakes?
we did, but we're not really talking about the rattlesnakes because you can't take them to most shows. So these guys have been a ton of fun, but my favorite's still the carpets. One nice thing about the bloods, I think they're going to get ready quicker. They're going to get to size quicker. This thing's big enough to survive shipping now. All of those things kind of put these a notch above. The carpets take a lot longer. It's a lot smaller meals. They're born skinnier than a pencil. So there are some advantages to the bloods over the carpets for sure. I just like watching the carpets color change as it takes a while for them to come into their colors. They got these big old eyes and little bitty triangular heads. They're just cute as a button. So I really enjoy them. They would probably be my favorite. But as you can see, having these extra species, if you put that on your table, somebody's casually walking by, oh, ball python. What the hell is that? You'll even get this question sometimes. What kind of ball python is that? That happens, especially with these guys, because, well, their body shape kind of looks the same. The head doesn't, and the head looks more like a boa to me. So then you get to have that conversation. Well, then they're going to spend more time at your table, may take one of these home, may take a ball python home, but you have a higher likelihood of finishing that sale. So having this extra little different stuff to set you apart from the other 12 ball python tables at a show of 13 tables is going to be very helpful. Kurt, anything you want to add?
No.
Caleb, what about you? Anything you want to add about keeping a different species on your table?
Nope.
All right, one thing I'll say with that. For me, this is a me thing. I much prefer to sell what I breed 99% of the time. Okay, if it's on my table, chances are I produced it, and if I didn't produce it, I'm going to tell you that. As a matter of fact, it's a label will tell you that because it wouldn't have a serial number or it'd have the serial number with a letter in it if it's from somebody I know, certain things like that. But when I talk about having something on your table different, what I'm not telling you to do is I'm not telling you to run out somewhere and buy, 15 blood pythons from some guy on Facebook Marketplace just to stick them on your table next week. Don't do that. We still need to be, in my eyes, equitable, or not equitable, but professional, right? We want to be professional sellers. We want to be able to have those animals and stand behind it. We don't want to stand behind Crackhead Joe, who we bought that from, in a back alley off of Facebook and say, oh yeah, it's great. So just make sure it's healthy. If you are going to buy it from elsewhere and then resell, you need to sit on that animal for a while and make damn sure it's healthy and make damn sure it be an animal you're happy to have in your collection, one that you would be happy to purchase from a show and take home and feel confident about. All right, anything else, Kurt? Caleb?
Nope.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Before I go, I want to tell you one secret. The reason Kurt said, hey, why don't you show him a blood python, is because he wanted my ass to get bit on camera. I know his sense of humor, but today we didn't let that happen, did we? No, we didn't. You were a good snake. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.